Major police tracking equipment down. Detectives struggle to trace bandits and others. Key tracking equipment deployed by the police to go after kidnappers, bandits, and terrorists has remained inactive since the beginning of the year amid raging violent crimes across the country, Sunday Punch has learned. Multiple reliable sources who confided in Sunday Punch attributed the downtime to non-subscription and failure to engage the relevant company to carry out system upgrade and other challenges. Amongst at least 2,943 people in Nigeria have been abducted across the country in the last 6 months since the critical tracking technology was down. Even before then, were they not already abducting people across the country? Experts have noted that the use of mobile devices by kidnappers to negotiate ransoms make it possible for law enforcement agencies to determine the movements of the cell phone owners. Even if users have their location services, cellular data, and Wi-Fi disabled, tracking system enables law enforcement agencies to have access to the technology that can determine the location of a mobile device at a specified time. Senior police officers, including 2 commissioners of police who spoke to one of our correspondents on the condition of anonymity, why anonymity? Said the platforms used in tracking phones has been bad since January. Excuses. What is going on? Because issues like this, you're not meant to tell the public. Because again, it's like you're trying to protect them. At least fix. This is since January. But then efforts were put in to get Nnamdi Kanu. And I'm sure that it probably took longer than January for the government to plan and, get their intelligence reports and all that to get Nnamdi Kanu. Because this sounds like excuses that I'm just like, come on. It's just excuse. Because again, I'm so sorry for the fact that they were able to get Nnamdi Kanu internationally, stalk him. They probably did that. Put in so much effort to even bring him back to Nigeria after how many years? I'm so sorry. You cannot tell me the Nigerian government cannot fix this, ordinary this, but then they're out there devaluing the currency and printing money like there is no tomorrow. Like, come on. This is so sad and embarrassing. Because you're not doing enough. Truly, you're not doing enough. And this is embarrassing to your rank and to your position. Key tracking equipment. And I'm so sorry, like, there's so many bright minds in the country that you can literally just give out like an incentive. And I promise, I guarantee you, Nigerian youth will literally do this and fix this whole issue in like a month. Is even too much for them. They can't do it. So again, all these excuses of trying to go to the companies to get these things produced and all that, like there's literally no point. We don't use our own. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you don't necessarily have to outsource. When you have the resources in front of you and you underutilize them, what do you expect? When it comes to things like this, you feel like you have no options, but really you do. So there's absolutely no excuse. We're not going to listen to whatever they have to say because it's absolutely embarrassing. Like there isn't even a sense of like of assurance that they are trying to find an alternative, or they've been working for an alternative, and they're now giving us statistics. What do statistics do for us? Telling us 2,943 people have been, abducted across the country in the last 6 months. Did we ask you? Because if you're doing statistics, then you should probably not even be, in the police. Because why are you doing statistics? Why are you not in the part of the investigation team and part of the intelligence team? Because this is very, very much sad and embarrassing to the nation, very much embarrassing. But then you have the embezzlement of funds in the country, and it's very evident with the way politicians are getting big cars and traveling and doing all that, and then instead of efforts to be utilized and brought together to prioritize. I mean, it's so sad because the government has prescribed IPOB a terrorist group, and you have actual terrorists that have not. Oh, this is so sad. And then you have actual bandits and criminals being defended by the government, calling them repentant, or having some random cleric defend them and say that, oh, because of how the situation is in the country, that basically determines why, they should come and make themselves a nuisance to the whole of Nigeria. Come on, it doesn't make sense. A comment here says, that means Igboho and Kanu are not bandits. Someone says unacceptable. True. Police trust fund should intervene so as to keep policing criminals for officers of the Nigerian police to keep the flag flying. Okay. But when the youth protest that police should be reformed, they became national enemies. No stress in tracing Nnamdi Kanu though. True. But it's so crazy because with every comment here that just seems to basically call out the police, saying that this is an excuse. We have a specific commenter that is literally replying every single person. So the first one here says, but when the youth protest that police should be reformed, they became national enemies. That is very true. That is very, very true, because the police seem to not understand that. I mean, I don't even understand, okay? I want to talk about the police. I think if you individualize it, it's not, listen, it's a collective issue. You cannot make it, make it a micro issue. It's a macro issue. And then, you personalize it and then you start attacking the people. No, it's a collective issue. We're talking about the institution itself. And then the person replied and says, some of you just come here to type rubbish without reasoning. If the tracking system works, it's for the benefit of the whole country, not just police alone. What did you protest for? But then your comment does not make sense. And then someone says, then there's no stress in tracing Nnamdi Kanu. Of course, they didn't have any stress in tracing Nnamdi Kanu, because apparently he's the real terrorist, apparently. And then the person again replied and says, get out, foolish Igbo man. Nobody tracked Kanu. The blood of the innocent people he ordered for their killing that remote him to where he was caught. How does this make sense, okay? Why do you have to go with the Igbo, why do you have to slander the person and make it seem like as if being Igbo is a bad thing, which means you're being tribalistic? Let's not go there. And what do you mean blood of the innocent people? Excuse me. If it's blood of the innocent people, then we know why Nigeria is not moving forward, because there's so much blood on its hands. Just saying. Someone says, this is embarrassing, to be honest. I blame the police. They themselves, they don't even, with this thing of authority, I don't know what is going on in the Nigerian police, but then they themselves, maybe they're benefiting from one way or the other that we don't know, and they're just trying to fake it to us that they are not, being protected, but they don't even stand up to the government and even lead protests for themselves, Yeah, put what you think about it, and don't forget to like and subscribe.